in three parts. One is your strategic planning, which is long term planning. Like, for example, suppose you are thinking of starting a new something, for example, you want to start a passenger car. So that is not short term, it is for a very long period of time you are thinking. Or, for example, uh, want to start a university. So this is not short term. It is not for 1 or 2 days, and there are so many things will be involved. That so it starts from the vision. Vision, what you have. So over there, when you are starting some new product, the vision is to introduce that product to the society, and we want to see the external environment, whether the society needs it, is waiting for it, what is the, whether it is worth it, or whether you want to start a university, whether it is a technical university or it is a some university which has almost all the faculties, both the medical sciences, the arts, the science, humanities, everything. It depends. What is your vision? What you want to give to the people? And from vision, we come to the mission. Mission is more practical. To achieve that vision, what you have to do, and then comes the strategical planning to meet that mission. What should you do? It is not for 1 day or 2 days. It is a long term planning. And then from strategic planning we come to tactical planning, because what each functional department will have to do to achieve that particular objective. And then from strategic planning we come to operational planning, day to day, or we at a very lowest level, what you should do to achieve that. So this everything is looking at the vision which you had. So let us see define planning. Yanchika, you read.
Yes, ma'am. Planning is the part of management concerned with creating procedure, rules, and guidelines for achieving a stated objective. Planning is carried out of both the macro and micro level. Managers needs to create broad objectives and mission statements as well as look after the day-to-day running of the company.
So, see, planning is coming at both the macro and the micro level. At the broad level, what you want to do. Like, for example, when I was talking about, suppose you want to make a vehicle. So, that is your at a macro level. But what type of a vehicle? Whether it should be a passenger car or a commercial vehicle, or maybe a mix of all these things, whatever is your vision, and for that you have to see from what you have to match your internal capacity with the external things which are available in the environment, because you will be doing the whatever job you are doing for someone, some consumer. Like if you're starting a university, that means whether people are willing to learn the things which are you are going to give it to them. If there's no one to take those things, then it is useless. So you have to seek whether there is a want, there is a need for that particular service or good, whether it is viable or not, whether you have the capacity to produce it or not. That is why we do the SWOT analysis. What is your strength and weakness? If what, like suppose you are trying to produce a vehicle, so you have to have the engineering knowledge, the planning, the design of the vehicle, how from where you will get the parts, different parts for the vehicle, how will you manufacture it, what operations you will have to do, everything. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Also, you have to identify your weakness so that you can strengthen them, because they should not adversely affect your operation. And also the opportunities and threats that are present in the environment. Opportunity, whether there is an opportunity, whether people are willing to go for a new type of a vehicle or not. whether there is a demand for the vehicle which you are planning to produce. Then threats can be from your competitors if the people from different organizations are also producing the same type of good or giving the same type of services. So what are the threats? What threats you'll have to, only then you can make a very good plan what which you want to do in the future. So at the macro level it is the long term, and at the micro level each functional department, whether it is marketing, whether it is finance, whether it is HR, whether it is operations, what each department will have to do to achieve that objective, what money will you will be requiring for making that vehicle, from where you will get the money, how to procure the money, then from where to get the raw materials, for that how much money you will be requiring. So all these things the finance department will see. Then the operations department will see what type of design is required, who will make the design, how it will be assembled, how it will be produced, so that the operation has to see. Then the HR, the type of people, because for each and everything, different types of knowledge, different type of skills is required. Somebody who's looking after the production part will have different type of knowledge. Somebody who's looking at the finance has a different type of knowledge. So every department, every has different types of HR is required, that has to be seen. Then marketing, where you will be selling the, because after all if you are not able to sell the product or service which you are making, that will be the end of your business. You won't, because this is so at the both at the macro and micro level you do the planning, and the managers have to create that is the strategic objective which you have. Here it is to produce the car. Now if, or the vehicle, whether it is a commercial car or a passenger vehicle, whatever you are, that is your objective. So that, for that, how will you gear your different functional units, what you will have to do in the short term, what you will have to do daily, how many, maybe how many cars will be assembled daily, in what all the components are required to make one car, where it will be assembled, what type of a plant layout you should have, and all these things. So day to day what you have to do, what things you have to task you have to accomplish. So all these comes under planning, both at the macro and the micro level. So here, can you say journey begins?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The first thing is your vision. Can you
Vision.
say it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This leads to
Mission.
mission, which enables to create the
Strategies.
strategies that
That
provides guidelines for
tactics.
tactics. Okay, you read it. To be implemented.
To be implemented operations to carry out what has to be done daily is metrics to measure
Hmm,
their effectiveness.
hmm. So this is how it works.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
from vision to the what metrics are required to produce the desired whatever things you are producing, whether you are giving a service or you are producing a product. So from vision to mission to strategies, tactics to operations to the metrics. So this is how the journey takes place. Well, whatever you are doing. So you have the vision. Can you see it?
No, ma'am.
This is
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Now.
Hmm. So this is a vision. I've just drawn a eye.
Okay, ma'am.
Read it.
A vision statements outline what a company wants to be. It concentrates on the future. Example of vision statement: Tata Motor by every 2024, we will become the most inspirational Indian auto brand, consistently winning by delivering superior financial returns, driving sustainable mobility solutions, exceeding customer expectations, and creating a high engaged workforce.
So, the,
Panasonic Life, yes, ma'am.
hmm. So this is the vision which Tata Motors had in early 90s when they started of making passenger cars.
Yes, ma'am.
Then Panasonic Life Solution.
Solution: make a better, comfortable life with human centered solution.
Sure. Hmm.
Microsoft, to help people and businesses throughout the world realize their full potential.
Hmm. Apple.
App- Apple, make a dent in the universe. Amazon, customer centric company on earth. Disney, to make people happy. Disney, Ford, people working together as a lean global enterprise to make people's lives better throughout automotive and mobility leadership.
So this I've taken some examples, some world class companies. So over here I've taken Tata Motors, which is uh, it is only Indian global. Tatas are, see, it is one of the enterprise of Tata Group. So Tata Motors, then Panasonic Life, Microsoft, all these are global companies. Then we come to mission.
Mission.
Okay, you can see it is
Yes,
on the target.
yes, ma'am.
What is your target? You just concentrate. Just like it was said that Arjun concentrated on the eye of the fish, he had to put his arrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything was blank. Over here also, you just target, focus on your what you have to achieve.
A mission statement is used by a company to explain in simple, concise terms its purpose. For being, the statement is generally short, either a single sentence or a short paragraph. Example of mission statement is Tata Motors. We innovate mobility solutions with passion to enhance quality of life. Panasonic Life Solution. We design, manufacture, and market innovative products and human-oriented life solutions which enhance comfort, safety, and energy efficiency to world market by concentrating the satisfaction of stakeholders.
So
Micro-
Microsoft.
Microsoft empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Apple, to bring the best user experience to its customers through innovative hardware, software, and services. Amazon, we strive to offer our customers the lowest possible prices, the best available selection, and the utmost convenience. Disney, the entertain, inform and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling, reflecting the iconic brands, creative minds, and innovative technologies that make our the world premier entertainment company. Ford, drive human progress through the freedom of movement.
So this is the mission.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
from mission we come to strategic planning.
Strategic planning. Every company and organization plans for their business to provide action strategy to the team and achieve desired result. It is the vision of the company. A strategic plan is high level overview of the entire business, its vision, mission, and value. This plan is the foundational basic of the organization and will dictate decision in the long term. The scope of the plan can be 2, 3, 5, or even the 10 years. Managers at every level will turn to the strategic planning to guide their decision. It will also influence the culture within an organization. and how it interact with customers and the media. Thus, the strategic plan must be forward-looking. It's ma'am
Robust.
but flexible with a keen focus on accommodating future growth.
Mhm. So because it is a long, things will change. Like for example, technology is changing very fast. So we have to make a plan in such a way that after we will be able to absorb the changes which the technology has brought in, so that our work becomes, we will can diversify, can produce more kinds of, give the whatever product we are producing more features which will be more comfortable in use, and so many things. So it is not that if we have started with one thing we should be very rigid about it. It is a long term planning. Whatever happens in the future, you adjust accordingly and do the needful.
The crucial component of strategic planning are vision. Where does the organization wants to be 5 years from now? How does it want to influence the world? These are some of the questions one should ask when what is ma'am one
Delineate
delineate
each
one's
organization.
organization vision. It is okay if the vision is
Yours.
grandiose and idealistic. If there is any room to wax poetic within a plan, it is here.
And over there, you, like maybe at that time when you're having the vision, it might look very poetic and unattainable, but it's all right. Then you think over it, how you can make it more realistic, how can you actually make it work at the ground level, because until and unless you don't make it work, it is of no meaning, if no matter how grand your vision is. So that is the second person, but at that time you're just dreaming of doing something, and then gradually you come to the ground level and see how it can be done, how it can be achieved.
Mission. The mission statement is more realistic overview of the company's aim and ambition. Why does the company exist? What does it aim to achieve through its existence?
So now we have come to more practical level of our journey. Then we,
Values.
just 1 second.
Yes.
Well, then we have to develop a value system. Until and unless there we have seen that there are so many companies we started with much gusto and were doing the things, but since the value system was not robust, they fizzled out after some time. So value system is very important. So value. Hmm.
Value. Each organization has its own values. These values will guide manager and influence the kind of employees you hire. Therefore, there is no template to follow when it's jotting down the values. You can write a 1,000 page essay for something or as simple as Google. Don't be evil. It's all up to you. There
Hmm.
are really no rules to writing the perfect strategic plan. This is an open-ended living document that grow with the organization.
Hmm.
One can write whatever one want in it as long as it dictates the future of one's organization.
As long as it dictates, like there's no fixed way of writing it. But what you want, you should be clear about it. You can write it just like Google has written just in one. Don't be evil. It is up to you. It is like, suppose you are teaching someone who is younger than you, can tell him, don't be evil, but it is up to you whether you want to be evil or you don't want to be evil. These are the pros and cons. You tell them all the pros and cons, and now it is up to that person to follow it or not to follow it. So here are some examples of values. Yes,
Value
uh,
Value of Tata Motors. The five core Tata values underpinning the way Tata is doing business are integrity, responsibility, excellence, pioneering, and unity.
most of the good companies, top level companies, they follow these things. Integrity, they should be honest, they should deliver what they are promising, not promise something and when it comes to delivery you think it is there is a lot of differences in it. It should not be that. Then be responsible for whatever they are doing. They should take the response. Something goes wrong, then they should take. It is not like passing the buck. Okay, because of this happened, that. So it is that try to excel in whatever you are doing. Then be pioneering. Be the first one to, because you see, the pioneers are the ones who lead, and unity among all your workforces, whether you are a CEO or you are a simple workman. They should feel as if they belong to the same organization. They are part of the same organization, and each has his or her own value for the organization. So these are the five principles which Tata Motor follows. You know, uh,
Values of
ask
yes,
him to ask his Sukumar. Nee, what is his name?
Suchandra.
Ha, Suchandra. Ask Suchandra. Suchandra, now you read.
Values of Panasonic Life Solutions India.
Hmm.
And so it's cut. Okay, where should I start? Okay, it's all cyclic.
It is a
Cyclic.
cyclic, so you can
Yeah.
start anywhere.
Yeah. So courtesy and humility, fairness and honesty, gratitude, cooperation and team spirit, adaptability, contribution to society,
Hmm.
un- uniting effort for improvement.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So these are the seven principles. See, basically, like each when a world class organization is looking for the same value system, fairness and honesty, integrity. So, fairness and honesty, like you have to be honest in whatever you are doing. Be honest to your customers, be honest to your employees, and be fair, not preferring one over the other just because for maybe for some caste creed like that. Fairness and honesty, then gratitude. They should be be graceful about whatever they are doing. Uh, not only they themselves have felt the need to do this, but they have got the opportunity. They are in a place to serve the people, so they should be gratitude for. They should feel gratitude towards this opportunity. Cooperation and as in that Tata also it was unity. So cooperation and teamwork. So teamwork is very important because see, in teamwork, every unit works together as one. Just like any living organization, there are so many organs in our body, not only in our body, any living organization you take, but they are working together for the well being of that particular organization. You have heart, you have lungs, you have this, you have that, but it is not working separately. They are working together. Even when they work together, then only the organization will be in a healthy position. Then adaptability. Whatever happens in the external environment, they should adapt themselves. Suppose some technology changes, which is better, which will increase your profitability, productivity. So you adapt to that. Don't be rigid. Like for example, I know because you are born in a era where you are so used to computers. But when we were born, especially in banking industry, everything was done manually, and the banking people were very much against it. they thought that their jobs will be affected. But no, it was not that. Because of computerization, so many things have become obsolete, but then new things have been created. So they adapted. The same people who were working manually were trained to work on the computers, and it brought a better result. It gave like at that time the banking hours was only from 10 to 10 in India. I'm talking about. It was only from 10 to 2 o'clock. But now it is from 10 to 4. Then during their yearly and half yearly closing, they had to spend so much of time. Sometimes it used to become midnight. But now things have changed because things have become faster and more the accountability it can also be easily checked, then and transparent. So because of this, why? Because they adapted to the new system. So these things will always happen. New things will come, you'll have to adapt to it. Like you cannot become rigid and say I'll do whatever the way I was doing things. That will not work. And especially in today's vibrant environment, things are changing very fast. You have to have, that is why now we go for lifelong learning. It is not that once you have learned, you have passed your high school or graduation or you have done PhD and you know everything. It is not that. You have to keep on learning. New things will be coming, adapting yourself to the new way of life. Even in life, if you don't adapt, you become rigid. You are able. People will. You'll be left alone. So even an organization has to adapt to whatever changes are there in the external environment. And what are you contributing to the society? Because I had yesterday only I had said a organization is also a corporate citizen. So it is part of the society. So the organization also has to see whatever it is, whether it is fruitful for the society or it is harming the society. And then constant improvement, untiring. You have to keep on improving whatever you are doing. What the Japanese call kanban. What is that? Making while doing the process, every time you try to do a better job. And naturally, at the end, courtesy and humility. Don't think you are doing very great. You have to have courtesy and humility of no matter how well you are doing. But if that ego comes in, things you will not be able to handle your customers or your suppliers, because it is not that one is working in isolation. You are interacting with your suppliers, you are interacting with your consumers, you are interacting with other partners. So you have to have that eh, courtesy and humility, so that the relationship, because everything matters on the relationship, the type of relationship which you have. As it said, there are two types of relationship. One is functional, another is dysfunctional. So we should look for the functional relationship, and this will come only when you are courteous and human. You follow humility. If you are too egoist, it will lead to problems, and after sometimes maybe your juniors will revolt. So these are the 7 principles of Panasonic Life Solutions. Now let us move to Microsoft. Yes.
Value of Microsoft: innovation, trustworthy computing, diversity and inclusion, philanthropies, corporate social responsibility, environment.
So these are the 6 principles, the value system which Microsoft follows. Innovation, naturally doing something in a better way. Then your computing should be trustworthy. Whatever you are doing, because Microsoft is in software, so whatever computing it is should be trustworthy. It should not have uh, adversely affect your diversity and inclusion. Both things are important. Like you have to diversify it also and include so many things. Then philanthropies, it is just like these those things, corporate social responsibility and philanthropies are both interrelated, because you are a citizen of the universe. A corporate is also a citizen of the society in which it exists. So what duties it has towards it, and for that it should be always ready. No, even the Indian government has made that 2% of their profit should go on corporate social. But without that, the organization itself should think what it can do to the society and environment. Like yesterday only we were talking about how it will not adversely affect the environment. It should not. Values of Apple. Yes, continue.
uh, Accessibility, education, privacy, supplier responsibility, inclusive and diversity,
Yes.
environment.
So accessibility, like it should be accessible to everyone. Then education, without education actually you won't be able to do the innovative work which you want to do. So, and also privacy of people working on, maybe they are working on some very uh, 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 something, doing some research or trying to do something in a much better way. So they need privacy to develop that thing. So that should be respected. Then supplier responsibility. Supplier should be responsible for whatever they are supplying, because after all, it is the input which will determine the quality of the output. Again, inclusive and diversity, which is same as Microsoft. Then environment, every organization has to be responsible for its, whether it is whatever they are producing is it is harming the environment or not. Then continue. Values of Amazon.
I don't see Amazon.
Oh, just 1 second. Yes.
Customer obsession, innovation, lifelong learning, collaboration, ownership, meritocracy,
Hmm.
trust.
It has got number of innovation. Sorry, values. Yes, continue. Highest quality.
Yeah. Think big, quick action, frugal, depth, openness and honesty, result oriented. Every employee a leader.
Hmm. So again, you can see, so because Amazon is what supplying to the directly related with the customer. So they should be obsessed with what the customer wants. Innovation, doing things in a way that will be better than what it was being done before. Lifelong learning, as I told you, today we are forced for lifelong learning because things are changing so dynamically that we have to keep on learning and make ourselves updated with the latest knowledge. Then collaboration. You are not doing nothing in a isolation. You are collaborating with so many, your suppliers, your customers. Maybe if you're collaborating with your customers, then you know what is their need, what features they require, what is lacking in. That is why what today there's every organization, from where you buy something or you have get some service, they ask for your feedback. They want to know how you are evaluating their good or service. Ownership, again, ownership, that means the employees, they should not feel as they are burdened. They should feel that they are the owners of the company. They are the ones who are looking after the company. And then meritocracy should be given importance. If somebody has the merit, it should not depend upon what position he or she is, from which family he or she is coming. It is the merit of that particular employee. So that importance should be given to meritocracy. Then trust. Trust your employees. Suppose they have done something wrong. Trust on them. See why this has happened. Don't blame them and don't make them feel so sorry that they go into depression or something. Because it is, if you feel that they belong, everybody belongs to the same organization and they are working for the same organization, then there should be trust on their capability. And if something goes wrong, then others should also see why this has happened, how it can be, uh, whatever wrong has been done, how it can be rectified, and things like that. So trust is also very important. Then high quality, whatever material or good or service you are doing should be of the highest quality. Then think big, never think small. What you can do, how you can improve. So this also, these are all things are interrelated. When you say ki lifelong, that will come only if you think big. Because for that you'll have to learn new ways, new technology, new knowledge. So think big and take quick action. If you think big but don't take action, what will the result will be nil. Frugal means it should be practical, something which you can do. Don't think so big that it is impractical. If I can, I think big that I can fly in the air. That is not possible because our body is not made like that. The birds can fly because their bones are different. They have wings. Something which is not practical. Whatever you are going to do should be practical, and look at the how deep you can go into that particular field. Openness and honesty, again integrity, openness, result oriented. What you are going to give it to your customer, that should be your objective. Every employee is a leader. So because belongingness, so every employee, that if trust is there, naturally every employee is a leader. Every employee is as important to the organization as whether he or she is a CEO or a junior most employee. So you can see most of these value system which these world class companies are following, more or less they are the same. The wordings might be different. Values of Disney. Continue.
Make everyone's dream come true. Never a customer, always a guest. Dare to dare. Practice, practice, practice. All for one and one for all. Share the spotlight. Make your elephant fly and capture the magic with storyboards.
So you can see, make everyone's come, because it is what it is, selling dreams, stories. So everyone's dream come true. Never a customer. He or she, whoever is coming in contact with whatever product of Disney they are buying or they're going to the Disneyland, they're not customer, they are a guest. And then you dare think big. What is dare to dare is thinking big. Then lifelong learning, practice, practice, practice. Then that will only make you perfect. It is said that practice makes a man perfect. So you have to keep on learning, keep on practicing. Then unity, all for one and one for all. Share the spotlight. Each employee is as important. It is not okay, only one person. The spotlight should be only on one person. It is share. Everybody should share, whether it is something which has gone wrong or whether they have achieved something. In both the cases, it should be shared. Make your elephant fly. Elephant cannot fly, but it is a story, the magic, which has to come on the storyboard where the elephant flies. Yes, continue.
The company believes in creating a working environment where all people feel wanted, secure, and motivated to give their all. It doesn't this by encouraging its workers to take bold steps into the future, though technological embracement corporation and taking calculated risks. Disney supports its exports as experts irrespective of whether they pay. As the company understands that through such efforts, that is how employees make their elephants fly. In turn, this explains the exceptional content and information that characterize the corporation.
So here again, it is just a summary of what are their value system. The company creating a working where people should feel wanted, secure, motivated, so they can give their best to the organization. And one for one, all for one. That is should be the motto of each and every company, so that the people are united, they are honest, they are more transparent, getting the best out of them. So we are not actually, the elephant is not flying, but by giving them that power to think and innovate, you can make the elephants fly. The last is your values of Ford Motor Company. Continue.
Uh, 7 values of Ford Motor Company. People. Our people are the source of our strength. They provide our corporate intelligence and determine our reputation and vitality. Involvement and teamwork are our core human values. Products. Our products are the end result of our efforts, and they should be the best in serving our customers worldwide. As our products are viewed, so are we viewed. Profits. Profits are the ultimate measure of how efficiently we provide customers with the best products up for their needs. Profits are required to survive and grow.
And grow. So this is just whatever we were discussing. People are important, product is important, profit is also important. Because if the profit, there's no profit, the business cannot grow. And it is involving so many lives. It is not only the person who's owning the organization or who are at the top brass. There are so many workers who are working there. So profit is very important for the people, for the company, for the future growth of the organization, and so forth. Yes, continue.
They also have published their guiding principles which help them to maintain their success. Quality comes first. Customers are the focus of everything we do. Continuous improvement essential to our success. Employees' involvement is our way of life. We are a team. Dealers and suppliers are our partners. Integrity is never compromised.
So this is the crux of each and every organization which we have got. Quality comes first. Customers are the focus of everything we do, because whatever you are doing, you are for the customers. You are, if they are not satisfied, then it is no point running that business. Continuous improvement, lifelong learning. What is that? Kanban, continuous improve. Whatever you are doing today, next tomorrow you'll be doing better, and so on. Comply improvement in our way of life. We are a team, unity, integrity. These are the crux value system of each and every good organization. Dealers and suppliers are our partners. Like in one we had discussed humility. So because we are not, it is together we can achieve. It is not a question of one above the other. It is together. Integrity is never compromised. Honesty, integrity should never be compromised. So we have seen 7 world-class companies, how they have most, if you look at the basis of all these companies, it is the same thing: quality, customer focus, continuous improvement, employee involvement, uh, having a good relation with suppliers and partners, integrity and honesty, transparency. So these are the basic value system which each and every organization should follow to achieve that mission for which they are developing the strategies. This
Can you
is
max?
great. Can you read this?
It's hard to read. Can you
Hard to
maximize?
read. I'm trying to maximize it. Just one
Uh,
second.
so you need to. Second.
Can you read this?
No, ma'am. I barely read, but I can try. So vision and objectives,
Hmm.
uh, external analysis,
Hmm.
which is based on market, competitors, other factors,
Hmm.
chances and risks in external environment,
Hmm.
critical success factors,
Hmm.
and then the circular process, ANSOF matrix based outcome of strategic options,
Hmm.
and evaluation and choice suitable, is it suitable, and then implementation,
Hmm.
and then acceptable to stakeholders,
Hmm.
and then resources, capabilities, internal analysis, strengths and
Hmm.
weakness, core competencies, SWOT
Hmm.
analysis,
Hmm.
and then
So it's
internal.
not analysis. Actually, over here, the external is being mapped with the internal. You have to do the external analysis also in that which we call opportunities and threats (OT), and strength and weaknesses comes into your internal analysis. These two have to be matched. This is a two-way arrow. You can see that, na? Only if it match, you make the strategic options. This is known as Ansof's matrix. And then once you have evaluated it and made the choice, you implement it. Now it is clear, na? I've increased. Hmm. So vision and objectives. This from there you start. Then you have internal analysis and you have external analysis, which you have to. That is the internal factor, environment, and the external factor, which have to be marked. Okay, Chandra. So in internal, what you have the resources and the capabilities. Externally, you have market, competitors, other factors. Here you have strength and weaknesses of internal. What is your core competency? And here externally, you have chances and external risk in external environment. Opportunities, what are the chances, and threats, what are the risks, what are the competition. So this is the what is the critical factor for success. These together, this is also known as Ansof's matrix. He's a very noted professor, Ansoff. He's teaching in Canada. So the strategic options are laid down. From here, we come to evaluation and choice. We evaluate all these factors and choose what we have to do, make the strategic plan, what is feasible, what is sustainable. Then, once it is acceptable to stakeholders, we implement it. So, okay, Yanchika, you read it.
Yes, ma'am. Strategic planning process. Strategic planning process include various steps ranging from defining the current situation of the business according to its mission to formulating the strategic to attain the strategic goals. The strategic planning process involves the five steps, which is referred as to the planning cycle. They are: step one, identifying identify the business and align it with its vision, mission, and values.
Mm. Okay.
Step 2, evaluate the business through the application of its internal strengths and weakness as well as the threats and opportunities that comes from external sources. Step 3, devise the novel business statement. Step 4, transform the business mission into tactical objectives. Step 5, implement the tactical objectives. In the simplest sense, the planning cycle helps businesses or firm identify their current position and forecast achievable goals through formulated strategies.
Mm. So this is actually first thing is what you want to do. First you have to see what value system you should have. Then accordingly you see what is your own strengths and weaknesses, what are the opportunities and threats in the environment. Then you transform your mission to tact. From strategies you leave, now go to tactical objectives. What short term objectives you will be able to do achieve, and for that what every day you have to do. Like for example, when I was talking about making a vehicle, okay, for the vehicle, that is the strategy. But to make that vehicle you need money, you need human resources, you need operation, the way it will be made, from where to get the raw material, what process has to be followed, and things like that. Then where it should be marketed so that you can get good return on your whatever investment you have done, whatever investment in not only in monetary value but even as a in human resource, in the process, all this investment you should get return. So these are the tactical functional areas which work in a shorter duration to produce say 100 vehicles. What the finance, how much finance you need, where, from where to get the money, how to invest, then operation to produce that 100 vehicle, what all processes have to be followed, what how to achieve it. Then marketing has to market that. Then what type of human resources we need. So these are at a shorter duration. For say uh, first 10 months or for 1 year, in 1 year what you have to can do. Then every day what you have to, that is the operational level. What each day, what work you have to do to achieve the objective for which you have set up your strategic plan. So first you, the business mission has to be converted into tactical objective. From tactical objective you go to operational objective. Yes, Sanchika.
Yes, ma'am.
Sanchika? Mm.
Companies use microeconomic concepts to evaluate the environmental needs. For instance, the concept of consumption is critical in evaluating the demand. The consumer theory is also important in examining the way consumer behave in the market. Understanding the behavior of consumer as well as their components of environment is important to sustaining competitive advantage.
So we companies use microeconomic concepts. What is the environmental need? So we have to know, okay, how the consumer will behave, what is its demand, what is the uh, trend, everything we have to know so that we can satisfy the consumer and we'll be able to sell whatever goods or service we are producing.
The company gauges its strategic planning against environmental demands to achieve the competitive advantage. Step 1, choose the path on which it will be compete. In other words, the company has to decide the type of product or service it will bring into the market, how to differentiate its product or service, and the place to sell the product.
Hmm. Essence.
Essence, the
Hmm.
company evaluate its current position and the kind of business to be involved in given their strengths, weakness, and opportunities. Managers, through the applications of the company missions, formulate the strategic actions that would enable the company attain its objective.
I think it's quite what service. So you decide what you have to do to achieve the thing you are trying to achieve.
Yes, ma'am.
Step two.
Step 2, the company performed detailed audit of its internal strength and weakness, the threats that the firm faces from external environment and the opportunities the external environment brings to the firm. The strategic internal and external audit is facilitated by the application of SWOT analysis. Based on this situation analysis, managers formulated novel business mission statement that captured the new form of business in term of the type of product to sell, the geographical location in which it will sell the product, and how the product will be differentiated. The mission is transformed into strategic goals. In the other word, the mission has to be translated into achievable objectives that all employees and various departments of the company understand. The mission statement has to be transformed into ways through which the product and services are made to satisfy the demands of the customers. To sustain its competitive advantage, the company mission has to be translated into strategic goals that are geared towards creating and enhance the shareholders' value, sustaining the higher rate of returns through strong balance sheets and maintaining high quality products that satisfy the needs of the customer.
I don't think there's much to explain, is this?
Step 3. In the planning process is where the firm come up with strategies that will enable it attain the strategic goals. Based on the above processes, the strategy is the plan of action that will enable the business achieve the set objective. Final step is to attain the competitive advantage is the implementation of the strategies and evaluating the performance.
So finally, when you have to have a competitive like advantage, then you have to implement whatever you had planned in your strategy, and then keep on monitoring it, if the return, whether it is working properly or not. If there is some deviation, taking rectifying measures. So this is the part of your strategic planning. Now we'll go to tactical and operational planning. So this is all for strategic planning. The first thing is vision, then mission, and the value system on which these things depend. And from there, the strategies are evaluated and formulated for achieving, for whichever reason you are trying to set up the organization or start a new organization or expand a already existing organization. And from there we move to tactical and operational planning.
Planning.
So that is
So,
all in your strategic planning. We'll move to second part now. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Can you say it? Planning continues.
Yes, ma'am.
Tactical planning.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Tactical planning. Tactical plans support strategic plans by translating them to specific plans relevant to a distinct functional area. Tactical planning is done for setting short term goals and action plans in order to achieve the long term goals set by the strategic planning in a company. The horizon is hence shorter than the strategic plans, and this type of planning is generally executed by independent departments or company functions. If the strategic plans is a response to what, the tactical plans respond to how.
Mm.
The tactical plan is very flexible document. It can hold anything and everything required to achieve the organization's goal.
So you can see ki strategic plan, what you are going to do, whether you are going to produce something or you are going to give certain services. So what you are going to do. But then tactical means ki how will you, the methods which you require to achieve that objective.
Strategic plans are broken down into smaller, distinct projects of shorter periods in tactical planning. The time horizon of tactical plans is shorter and independent functions in the company can do the execution. Therefore, tactical planning is highly concerned by middle level management of the organization. Tactical plans divided strategic plans into smaller plans in specific area of the organization. The major area where tactical plans are developed are marketing, production, finance, human resource, marketing, etc.
As I told you, the four functional areas. Here, production or the operations, it is the same thing. Operations, include both goods and services. In production, we are only focusing on but the basic principles of both production and operation is the same.
We know that the tactical supply chain decisions are made within the constraint of the overarching strategic supply chain decision made by company management. Tactical planners take the strategic messages and focus on creating real benefits for the company. These can include tactical decision on operation, marketing, finance, human resource development.
So, say, as I told you, given you this example of a vehicle. So this is my strategy to produce this particular vehicle. But to how to produce it, that is what and how. That is tactical. What the finance department should do, what the marketing department should do, what the operations department should do, what type of human resource you need to achieve the objective for which the strategic plan was created.
Tactical planning objectives. The specific actions, budget, roles, and timelines for marching towards the organization's objective.
What exactly, like for example, if you take finance, see from how much finance is needed, then if it is needed, from where to get that finance, then how to use that finance, what are the different things which is required to monitor the financial implications of the things which are being used and how it is being used, things, the roles of each and every employee, time at what timeline. If they have decided to complete something in say 4 days or 5 days, then it should be done that. If it has deviated, then why it has deviated. So timeline is also important. Roles are important. What each person's role should not be, it should be clear, well cut, so that everyone knows what his or her responsibility is and what they should be doing, for what they should be accountable.
Tactical planning for operations. The tactical planning which an operation manager does symbolize a deep knowledge of the operation to be done to acquire the desired product, services, and fulfill the organization's objectives. Thus, the operation manager has to do the following planning: production, distribution planning, production procurement and logistics, resource allocation, deploy resources to match demand, inventory targets, demand forecasting, benchmarking, match all operation against competitors.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Tactical planning for finance. The tactical planning which an finance manager does symbolize a deep knowledge of the operation to be done to achieve and maintain visibility into all the uh, process
Processes.
so that one supply chain can be as efficient as possible and capitalize on cost saving throughout the chain. To achieve this, the following planning has to be done by the finance manager: reducing cost at all point within the chain, increasing the efficiency of all point within the chain, collaborating with all other parties in the chain more effectively, releasing working capitals in the supply chain.
Okay.
Look at all one's financial processes at the holistic level rather than viewing them as individual processes. It is end-to-end process that involves the procure to pay cycle, working capital management, and the order to cash cycle business processes. Within with it, this covers everything that part of ordering, invoicing, reconciliations, and payment.
So right from the time you are ordering for raw material, finance is needed. So they have to look at all these things: procure to pay cycle, working capital management, that is procure to pay cycle, when they're getting the input, working capital management, when things are working out, when they are doing the work, then also money is required, then order to cash, whatever has been ordered, whether it is being delivered on time, whether they are getting the desired cash for that order or not. So all these processes have to be taken care of by the finance department. That is part of ordering, invoicing, reconciliation, and payment. Then you have
Tactical planning for marketing. The tactical planning, which in marketing manager does symbolize a deep knowledge of the operation to be done to reach the customer with the desired product services in sti- stipulated time frame, minimum cost, and best quality. For meeting this objective, the marketing manager has to answer the following question: where is one audience? What channels should one use to communicate with them? What content do one need to create to each one's goal, and when does it make most sense for outreach? To find the answer to the question raised in the previous slide, the following tactical marketing plans will be beneficial. The goals of the awareness stage is to create recognize for one brand. Tactics that works best of this stage are content marketing, public relations, and event marketing. The goal of the concentration stage is to help one lead understands the benefit of one product or service over other options. Tactics include shell sheets, a checklist, and tip sheets. The goal of decision stage is to convert leads into clients. To do this, one needs to reduce one risk of choosing one brand. Paid advertising that offers demos, free consultation, and guarantees work best, and because the profitability of converting these leads into client are greater than at the awareness stage, one is more likely to see return on investment.
so it is they have to see, suppose they get the lead, okay, this they can be your future customers, but then they have to see if they actually become customers. Then only will they get return on investment. So then comes tactical planning for human resource. Read it.
I can see, ma'am.
Huh?
Still on.
You can't see.
Can't see the page 12 now. Still on 11.
It is
It is the same slide,
now.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
I've changed it. It is showing the tactical which a human resource manager does in an organization. I don't know
No,
what's the
ma'am.
problem.
Yes, ma'am. I can see the tactical planning for human resources.
Okay. Now you
Tactic.
can see it.
Yes, ma'am. Now I can see.
Tac- hmm,
Tactical planning for human
Tactical.
resources. The tactical planning
Hmm.
which a human resources manager does it's in an organization symbolize a deep knowledge of the work system design in which the personally of the organization deliver the best and contribute to the organization successes.
Hmm.
This role of an HR encompasses activities like design of work positions, hiring, rewards, recognize strategic pay,
Recognition. Hmm.
performance
Development.
development appraisal system, career and successions planning, and employee development.
So, and it has, see, because the value system we were talking about making the employees feel as if they are a part of the whole organization belongs to them and they belong to the organization. So, for this, they have to see कि career and succession planning is done, employee development is done, appraisal system is fair, a performance development system is done according to the actual performance, strategic, what should be their pay, from where to get the desired human resource, what type of quality is required, what type of training is required, if they do something good for the organization and if they deserve certain reward, whether they get the reward or not. So they have to focus on the development and the recruitment of the human resource required for producing whatever they are producing, whether it is good or services. What is your yes. Now, from tactical planning, tactical we have seen for all the four functional areas. Now, each functional area will have to do see what they have to day to day. So that is known as operational planning. Continue. Can you see it? Operational planning.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Operational
Hello.
planning. Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hmm. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Operation.
Operational plans describe the day-to-day running of the company. The operational plan starts out of roadmaps to achieve the tactical goals within a realistic time frame. This plan is highly specific with an emphasis on short-term objectives, increase sales to 150 units day or hire 50 new employees are both example of operational plans objective. Creating the operational plan is the responsibility of low level managers and supervisor.
So you see, first one strategic plan was at the highest level, CEO or MD.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
your tactical plan was the functional area, the head of each functional department has to see to it. And now it is at the lowest level. Continue.
O- Operational plans can be either either single use or ongoing as described below. Single use plans. These plans are created for event activities with a single occurrence. This can be a one time sale program, a marketing campaign, a recruitment drive, etc. Single use plans tends to be highly specific.
Hmm.
Ongoing plans. These plans can be used in multiple settings on an ongoing basis. Ongoing plans can be of different types, such as policies. A policy is general document that dedicates how managers should approach a problem. It influences decision making at the micro level. Specific plans on hiring employees. I can see the screen, ma'am, now.
Yes, 1 second. Now can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
uh, Sorry,
Hmm.
specific plans on hiring employees, terminating contracts, etc., are examples of policies.
Hmm.
Rules are specific regulations according to which an organization functions. The rules are meant to be hard coded and should be enforced stringently. No smoking within a premises, or employees must report it by 9 a.m. are two examples of rules.
So there are two types of single for just for something, or you can say ad hoc, and ongoing, whatever for the in general, what has to be done.
Yes.
And for that you have policy and rule. They might have certain policies. Every worker has to some dress code, so that is their policy. Then rule whether they have to come at exactly by 9 they should be there. So that is a rule. Then procedure.
Procedure. A procedure describes a step by step process to accomplish a particular object. For example, most organizations have detailed guidelines on hiring and training employees or sourcing raw materials. These guidelines can call procedures. Ongoing plans are created on an ad hoc basis but can be repeated and changed as required. Operational plans align the company's strategic plans within the actual day to day running out of the company. This is where the macro meets the micro. Running a successful company requires paying an equally attention to not just the boarding objective, but also how the objectives are being met on an everyday basis, and the need for such intricate planning.
Hmm. So what you might be having a long term objective, but to meet that objective you have to do every day, you have to do something, so that only you will be able to go. For example, you want to uh, travel somewhere, reach, say maybe you're traveling from Varanasi to Delhi, okay, but then you'll have to start from your every step you have to take. Maybe you hire a cab, go to the station, from station you get into the train, from there you go and occupy your seat, from there then you reach the Delhi station, get down from there, then they go. So that is the whole journey. So it is day to day what you have to do to achieve the objective which have been set up for the company. Yes, continue.
Operational supply chain decisions are made hundred of times each day in a company. These are the decisions that are made at businesses location that affect how products are developed, sold, moved, and manufactured. Operational decisions are made within an awareness of the strategic and tactical decisions that have been adopted in a company. These higher level decisions are made to create a framework within the company's supply chain operation and to the best competitive advantage. The day-to-day operational supply chain decision ensure that the product efficiently move along the supply chain achieving the maximum cost benefit. The number of example of operational decision can be identified in manufacturing, supplier relationship, and logistic to maintain a few. Manufacturing. Companies make tactical decisions with regards to manufacturing, such as the adoption of Kanban and just in time. However, if the local manufacturing site is unable to rely on certain suppliers' delivery time, the just in time method may not be suitable for some product lines. The local plants management may make an operational decision to keep certain items in stock to ensure that production is not halted. This inventory will increase cost, but a greater cost would be incurred if the production line was brought to a standstill due to the lack of items from a supplier.
Like for example, you are following just in time, but and getting the supply from a local supplier, and if they are not able to meet your delivery, so what will happen? Your production line will stop. So instead of doing that, keep something in your stock. It will raise the inventory cost, but at the same time it will also, so it will depend upon the situation. You cannot have a very rigid approach. You have to be flexible and adapt yourself to the changing situation and the need of the hour.
Suppliers.
Supply.
Global suppliers and negotiated contracts are decisions made at a company level to take advantages of the company's global buying power. These offer considerable cost saving, but local sites may have to make operational decisions with the suppliers to ensure an efficient supply chain. In some instances, local negotiation with global suppliers are required to ensure the quality of the product. For example, in some countries, the quality of the product produced by a supplier is not at the same level as the other country. The local management would have to make an operational decision to negotiate with the suppliers for them to create a product with higher quality to ensure the quality of the finished product.
Like for example, this shows that suppose some global supplier, but then the quality of their product might be not the same as what you want. Then you have to have negotiation with the local suppliers and make sure that they supply the quality which you require. So some adjustment has to be made at the day to day basis. Global level means ki at a very higher level that uh, mm, agreement has been made, but the suppliers can be
Suppliers.
changed. Okay, logistics.
Logistics, strategic and tactical supply chain decision is the logistics process, often focus on the uses of third-party logistic company 3PL. Many companies have identified the cost benefit of these 3PL companies and have integrated them into their supply chain. However, in some instances, these 3PL companies may not operate in all regions where the company require logistics. In those cases, the local management has to make operational decision on leasing local warehouses and negotiating with the regional logistic companies. Although strategic and tactical supply chain decisions are made to bring the greatest effect, uh,
Efficient.
efficiency at the lowest cost, the daily operation of the supply chain require that local management make hundreds of operational decisions. These operational decisions are made within the framework created by the strategic and tactical processes and not made in isolation.
Like 3PL means ki there's a logistic company which takes care of your logistics. But suppose they are not able to go at all the places which you are desiring to sell your products, then you can make certain arrangement with the local. That is your day to day. That is your operational adjustments which you are making in the logistics department.
Strategic, tactical, and operational planning are integrally related.
Um,
Strategic planning is an organization's process of defining its strategic or directions and making decision on allocating its resources to pursue this strategy. Tactical planning is short range planning emphasizing the current operations of various parts of the organization. Managers use tactical planning to outline what the various parts of the organization must do for the organization to be successful at some point 1 year or less into the future. Tactical plans are usually developed in the area of production, marketing, personally finance and plant facilities. Operational planning is the process of linking strategic goals and objectives to tactical goals and objectives. It describes milestone conditions for success and explain how or what portions of strategic plan will be put into operation during a given operational period.
So these are the three stages, strategic, but they are get together. They are working together for the objective of the whatever objective of the organization is, long term, then middle term, and they are looked after by the three levels of management: at the highest level, at the middle level, and the lowest level.
Yes, ma'am. A case study.
Actually, I don't. Okay, let's leave this because
Okay.
it's not. It is not opening. So today we have done planning, from
Yes.
strategic planning to operational planning, right from in fact right from vision, then mission, value
Very
system is
nice.
part of it, and then first you make the strategic plan. To achieve that strategic objective, you make the tactical planning, and which is geared towards the strategic plan, and then to what
Operational.
you have to do at a day-to-day basis to achieve that objective.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then good night for today.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you.
Good night. I'll send the PPT.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
okay, good night.